Excellencies, I'm honored to join my colleagues here in welcoming you to this important discussion. Thank you all so much for your ongoing commitment to build brighter futures for children and young people across Africa. Africa is a continent, as you know, undergoing rapid demographic transition, with children and young people leading the way. Today, 3 out of every 5 people in Africa are under the age of 25. By the middle of this century, Africa will be home to 1 billion children and adolescents, accounting for 40% globally. This transformation presents both opportunities and challenges, especially in education. Over the last 2 decades, governments in Africa have made significant progress in getting more children into school. The proportion of primary school aged children not in school was halved from 35% in 2000, 17% in 2019. Over the same period, the percentage of secondary school aged children out of school fell from 63 to 53. This commitment to expanding access to education is clearly reflected in the AU's Agenda 2063 and the 10-year Continental Education Strategy, which aim to strengthen education systems across the continent. UNICEF proudly supports this work in each of your countries. In 2021, nearly half, or 46% of UNICEF's program expenditures in education went to Africa. Unfortunately, the global learning crisis exacerbated by the COVID-19 pandemic could undo much of the progress that has been made in children's education since 2000. Even before the pandemic, the continent was facing a serious learning crisis. Millions of children already lacked foundational reading skills and were excluded from learning opportunities because of poverty, gender, conflict, displacement, or disability. This pandemic has intensified these trends. At the COVID peak, school-related closures, for example, more than 90% of students in Africa had their learning disrupted. So with Africa home to the world's largest population of children and young people, the time to act to transform education in Africa truly is now. Excellencies, you have an essential role to play in reaching every child in Africa with quality education. Education has not been the AU's annual theme for over a decade. I respectfully urge you to put education at the heart of the African Union agenda by championing education as a 2023 theme. I also encourage you to take the lead in triggering a continental movement to transform education in Africa. This transformation can be led and owned by African member states, with support from multi-stakeholder partnerships and youth engagement. Together, we can bring all school-age children in Africa back to in-person learning. This includes the millions who were not in school before the pandemic. We can also ensure that education systems have the capacity to support children with catch-up learning, as well as essential services like water, sanitation, and mental health support. And we need to empower teachers with refreshed skills on digital learning, remediation, and socio-emotional learning. Excellencies, we must tackle the learning crisis through increased investment in foundational learning. If Africa's children are equipped with solid numeracy, literacy proficiencies, they will be better positioned to obtain higher level knowledge and skills in the future. We should also dedicate more funding to development and training so that young people can learn the full range of skills needed for the 21st century. We can leverage diverse partnerships, including with the private sector, to bring the innovative ideas and resources to the table. And critically, we must prioritize girls' education. This includes ensuring that girls are safe in school and that they are supported in the subjects and careers they choose to pursue. We have a long way to go. The work ahead is difficult, but it could not be more urgent. Thank you for your leadership and partnership in ensuring that the children of Africa are educated and prepared for the future. Thank you very much.